Our work is cut out for us on this project. Foxterra Designs is world renowned and they have high standards. So we're trying to create something that's not sterilized. We want to create living water that has life inside of it. I'm bringing paradise to Los Angeles. Throughout my entire life, I've always been drawn to water. I love exploring nature, going into national parks, and thankfully, we found a customer, Justin Fox, Foxterra. He does the exact same thing. Los Angeles is one of the most congested, chaotic places in the world. What we're trying to do is actually bring a slice of paradise, a little bit of an aquatic oasis that you would find in the surrounding mountainsides. We're going to extract it from the mountains. We're going to drop it down in the middle of all this stuff. Our work is going to be cut out for us. Foxterra Designs delivers and creates and designs the most amazing landscapes on the planet. So what we want to try to do is work with them. We want to be collaborative and we want to come up with a strategy where we could recreate a living work of art. So we're trying to create something that's not sterilized. We want to create living water that has life inside of it. We want frogs and we want turtles. We want a slice of that national park right in his backyard. And in order to pull that off, we're going to have to put the recipe to its test. We have to bring in the right mixture of elements. The pumps, the filters, the rock, the gravel, the sand, all these different pieces and parts, put them together not only functionally but artistically so it blows everybody away. This is going to be a stressful project, but we're up for it. Construction day is upon us. We just started stuff out. Justin and his team have been doing an incredible job. They've been bringing in all the different boulders and everything for this project. Joey just hopped up in the excavator. We are starting the excavation, and I just want to show you what we have going on here. So the idea that you saw in those pictures, Justin was visiting a national park. He saw a beautiful waterfall coming down into a nice little plunge pool that is loaded up as beautiful sand beach and just massive boulders. So I think what we're trying to do here obviously is recreate that. Coming in, we're building up all this soil. There's an existing container over here. He's covered that up with a waterproofing membrane. We're going to bury all that. This is all going to be planted. Joe's just trying to make a platform that we could work off of. And then this is going to be the deep section of the plunge pool. And it's going to slowly work its way this way. And then the area back over in these sections, you can see we got some of our material staged. This is where that Airstream is going to be located, as well as some of the other outdoor amenities. All right, so challenge number one. John Deere excavator here. It's a 50,000 pound-ish machine. We have some monster boulders, and this is key for this project. So in order to make this truly look like a national park, we need massive boulders. These are the ones Justin had here on site. So we are going to be pushing this machine to the limit. He is currently at a disadvantage just because of the positioning of the machine. He's going off of the side of the track versus the front, but all we're trying to do is get it somewhat over here. Oh man, yeah, that is sketchy stuff right there. That we have to make that rock work.
Failure is not an option.
So we're gonna see what this looks like, but we have to get that rock in position. Like, this is our only option in order to successfully pull this project off. If we can get a bigger excavator, we would, but we do not have one available to us. So this is what we have. Let's see, he's in a better position now mechanically to lift that. Much better now. Much better. That's it. All right, so all we're doing right now is staging the rocks so we could work with them later today. All right, so this is always a good moment. Excavation went really smooth, incredible soil. We have a layer of our heavy-duty geotextile down. We also did a layer of sand just in this deep section underneath everything, even though the soil was really good, just to give us a little bit of extra bedding material. It's just going to be for those big giant boulders that we have going in. The first of our big rocks is going in place. Membrane is in, heavy-duty geotextile on top. Again, we have really good soil here to work with, which I'm happy about. And what we need to try to do with this entire project is make this structure disappear, get rid of all of this stuff. There's a golf course way back here. We want to make that all disappear, create something, a ridge line kind of coming in like this. So then all you're doing is you're looking way up into those mountains. So that's going to create that effect when he puts the Airstream here and the fire pit and the big sand beach and load it up with pine trees and all the woodland type of a look to it. It's going to look like you're looking across this little plunge pool in the middle of a river system or stream system somewhere that's coming directly out of those mountains. During our excavation process, you saw yesterday we overdug everything. So that's a easy strategy to be very efficient with your excavation process. And then what we do is we set the boulders where the boulders look good and fit properly. And then all we do is add in additional soil behind the rubber membrane to push everything behind those rocks. So this gives us a lot of design flexibility, which is what we're looking for on a unique project like this. Pushing the limit of the machine. Oh, it's going. He's got it. Joe wants it. Get up there. And so it's sticking with our theme. 25,000-ish, up to 30,000 pounds, somewhere in there, according to some of the measurements we took early on, as well as the lifting capacity of that machine. But our goal, recreate a national park right here in this backyard. And the only way to do it is just with monstrous boulders to give it the look and the feel that we're going for. So that rock is going to go in right over here. It's going to set the stage. It's going to anchor the entire project. And it's going to give the illusion of all of this massive craggy stuff over here in the back. Huge boulders down at the bottom. We got that plunge pool. And then this meandering little deep stream type of a system, and this large rock anchoring the back edge of this. Then that beach is going to wrap around it. And then there's also going to be a deck or some sort of a dock as well. But right now, that machine's doing really well with this rock. So we are making great progress, and this is what I've been waiting for here for a little while on the pond part, is getting sand down in the bottom. So this is going to create that really natural effect. It's going to be great. We're going to have native fish inside of here, so it's going to be a home for all types of wildlife. It's going to be a great spot for the kids to play around in the shallow beach area, play catch with their dogs. So this is just going to turn into an amazing little feature that really is connecting with people with water the way nature intended it. So we've started excavation for the wetland filter. This is a critical component in a feature like this, because remember, this is the point of water quality. So this is the detoxification of all the organic compounds that are generated inside the feature, and that's going to be generated from fish waste, windblown organic debris, anything coming into the pond that is an organic compound. As it breaks down, it's going to release dissolved nutrients. Those nutrients can potentially cause water quality issues. So what we want to do is we want to create a system that's actually designed to manage all of that stuff, and that starts with our wetland filter. So this is going to be home to all those microorganisms. We're going to constantly be feeding in a small amount of those microorganisms on a daily basis to ensure we have ample bacterial population. So that is going to be critical for the overall health of this pond. Now this biological filter is aerobic, so it requires dissolved oxygen. So what we're going to have on the outflow is a waterfall. So we're going to actually have a two-step waterfall right here. So then that's going to be able to enter back into the feature, and it's going to increase the dissolved oxygen so it could replenish the entire cycle. bottom is all rinsed down. The sand looks incredible. Loving the little beach area. The access for this is just awesome. So guys are finishing up the intake bay over here. That's going to manage all of the waste coming in. So that is an important part from a water quality standpoint. We want to remove as much of the solid compounds as quickly as possible before they have a chance to actually decompose. So if we can do that, it lessens the load on the biological filter. All right, we are working our way on the wetland filter here. We have our 3-inch pipe coming in, so that's our main feed that's coming from our intake bay. The biofilter is only as good as the intake system, so you have to do a good job pre-filtering out as much debris as possible before it gets actually sent up to the wetland filter. So now we have our snorkel centipede system. This is our connection point. We have our 3-inch line coming in. High velocity water is going to come in. We have a 93% reduction in that water velocity. It's going to allow the larger sediments to accumulate down in this lower section. Now this goes all the way over here to our clean out area, and that will be able to actually put a pump inside of that to actually remove all of that sediment on a yearly basis. And sometimes you can kind of play around with that, but I typically go on a yearly basis to remove the sediments. The next layer of filtration in the system is the lower layer of aqua blocks here. This is another layer of sedimentation. So big stuff is going to accumulate down in here because it's going to be heavier. The sands, gravel, the heavier clays and things like that are going to accumulate down in this bottom part. The finer sediments are actually going to accumulate down inside of here, and that's because the way these are designed. So you can see all these little fins on top of this. This allows like little microcurrents and eddies to occur. So as that water kind of moves its way through all this, it creates turbulence. That turbulence bounces the water particles together. That's going to allow the sediments to actually accumulate down in this lower section for periodic removal. This is super, super important as well. The next layer is the filter tubes. So these, if you can see down inside of there, that's a structured media. It's going to allow for high water flow to come through, and every little square millimeter of that surface is going to become colonized by different beneficial microorganisms and bacteria, which are going to do the heavy lifting for us. They're responsible for the removal of all the nitrogen and the phosphorus and all of that stuff, which causes water quality issues. So that's a really, really important part. Then on top of this, we're going to come in with layers of gravel. This is adjustable. So another layer of filtration is phytoremediation, which basically what that means is you could use aquatic plants to further remove nitrates and phosphates and things like that. So we're going to have approximately 12 inches of gravel on top of this, and we'll have a little bit of water on top of that, and then our finished grade. We will then come in and cut back some of this edging so we could actually set some bigger boulders on that outside perimeter. Justin, could you give us a little bit of the inspiration behind this this naturalistic feature that we just completed?
Sure. So I think my childhood is full of memories of like hiking and Lake Shasta, or even recently we went to Zion, and I did a hike specifically about 8 months ago that took me through the Narrows. And after we got through the Narrows, there's this little stream that we came across, and it's so similar to what your team pulled.
Was that the picture that you sent me originally? Okay, yes,
So,
yes.
If we could insert that in the video, you'll see how close we got into this. To me, the goal was to take advantage of what the backdrop that we have here. Now, we had to manipulate a little bit because if you see in the beginning shots, there's some houses and there's a big white fence. And after this is done, the reality is that you'll walk back here and you'll feel like you're transported to one of those mountainous ponds, streams that you would find. And I can't say enough how incredible it was even working with you, Ed, but the way you articulated almost each rock to make sure it felt like the glacier put it there rather than just by hand. Power of water.
That's awesome.
We're thrilled. We're so excited. I just can't thank enough the Aquascape team on what the incredible reality they pull off.